And they collaborated more in the studio as opposed to it being all Tom York's vision. So that first album was all Tom York getting what he wanted creatively. And this album is more of, let's all put our heads together. We've got 3 guitarists who can make a guitar record. We've got an excellent bass player who can lay down some good beats with a really, really good drummer. So they kind of helped the band flourish,
right?
Because a lot of bands do that. Whenever there's an issue with the band, when one person's controlling it, it always seems to go better when the control is lifted. There are some notable exceptions. We've mentioned Oasis. When Noel lifted the songwriting embargo, they went from being a great album band to being a great singles band,
right?
With the occasional album cracker, And I say that as my favourite band, so... but the sessions were not the best sessions.
Right.
So, songs like The Bends, Just, and Nice Dream were endlessly recorded and tweaked because they were pigeonholed. The label wanted that next big American hit.
Of course they did.
And that led to a song called High and Dry.
Which fit...
I like it. We'll talk about it here more in a minute. Being forced upon the album from a demo session on Pablo Honey.
Right.
So if Pablo Honey had High and Dry on it, I think it would have been a better album. But that's a different story for a different day.
Yeah.
So the band missed their deadline. They were over their 6 months. So they did something that they were on tour with REM as the opening act.
Okay.
And they decided to record the rest of the material at sound checks and testing and the live versions of the show. Now, REM did the same thing with New Adventures in Hi-Fi. And if you want to listen to our review on New Adventures in Hi-Fi, go to Season 7, Episode 9.
Right.
That's a really, really good review. Me and Greg go over track by track like we do here and the uniqueness of that album. And the final sessions took place at Abbey Road. So that was a big coup for a band the size of Radiohead to get Abbey Road, because they only had one hit.
Right.
And a one-hit band using Abbey Road is, The
place gives me the chills.
Yeah. I mean, basically the record label stumped up the most cash is what it is.
Right.
But in total, it took 4 months to record this album in different settings, including RAK Studios and the Manor.
Okay.
Iconic British studios.